Salut tout le monde, hi everyone. So, you want to understand real spoken French? Let me help you. Today, I will show you 10 expressions French people use constantly, but that you won't learn in any textbook. Let's go. Let's start with ouais. This one is pretty obvious. Just like in English when you say yeah instead of yes, in French we say ouais instead of oui. Let me show you an example. Je peux passer te voir? Ouais, bien sûr, pas de problème. Can I come by to see you? Yeah, of course, no problem. Please note that ouais is informal, like all the expressions you will see in this video. But to help you, I'm going to use a little indicator. For each one of these expressions, I will give them a mark out of 10. 0 being not informal at all, and 10 being extremely informal. As for ouais, I will rate it 3 out of 10. Even though it's informal, it is widely accepted and used by all of us. Alright, let's move on to the next expression. T'inquiète. This expression simply means don't worry, and it is a perfect example of how we French people take our beautiful language and butcher it in everyday spoken French. Let me explain to you. Normally, in formal French, we should say ne t'inquiète pas. In casual French, t'inquiète pas. And in real-life French, we simply say t'inquiète. For example, j'ai peur de le rencontrer. T'inquiète, il est super sympa. I'm scared to meet him. Don't worry, he is super nice. Alright, so with this one, don't worry so much about the grammar and do like the rest of us and say t'inquiète. Let's continue with the next expression, and this is a big one. Du coup. You guys, it's crazy how often we use this expression. We know we overdo it, but we just cannot help it. So, you definitely need to understand this expression. So what does it mean? Well, it's mostly used to express a consequence, kind of like so in English. Like in this sentence, for example. Je suis malade, du coup, je ne sors pas ce soir. I'm sick, so I'm not going out tonight. Okay, so you see it's pretty easy. But where it gets tricky is we also use it simply to connect sentences between each other or just as a filler word. And this is when it gets actually ridiculous. Ouais, allô? Ouais, du coup, je travaille pas demain et comme il fait beau, du coup, je vais pique-niquer. Du coup, si tu veux venir avec moi, ben, tu m'appelles du coup. Okay, ciao, ciao. And honestly, guys, this is actually what we sound like. So, du coup, you should probably start using it too. Alright, let's move on to the next expression. Dac. This word is simply a shorter version of d'accord, which means alright, okay, agreed. And we love it. It's short, it's punchy, and it's casual. Let me show you how to use it. Tu m'attends? Dac, mais dépêche-toi. Can you wait for me? Okay, but hurry up. You see? Very simple. And by the way, we also use the word okay in French, but obviously with a French accent that you might have noticed when I used it, okay? Yeah, I just did it. So basically in French, we don't say okay, but we say okay. All right, let's move on with the next word. Boulot. Boulot is slang for travail. You guys know what travail means, right? Yeah, that's right, work. Let me know in the comments if you thought it meant trouble. I won't judge you, but I'm curious to know. Anyway, boulot is slang for work. Let me give you an example. J'ai trouvé un nouveau boulot. I found a new job. You see, it's very simple. And please note that this is just a noun, it's not a verb. But good news, we also have a slang verb to say to work. Let's take a look at it. This verb is bosser. So instead of travailler, which is the normal verb to say to work, we simply say bosser. Like in this sentence, for example. Je bosse sur un nouveau projet. I'm working on a new project. And as you can see, this verb ends in er, which means it's a regular verb. So it's really easy to conjugate. So don't be shy and start using it. Enough about work. Let's have some fun with the next one, which is kiffer. This verb comes from Arabic and it means to like or to really enjoy something or someone. And like many slang words in the French language, it was first used among young people who live in lower income, working class areas. But now it's widely used all around the country. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. C'était bien le concert? Oh, j'ai kiffé. C'était génial. Was the concert good? Oh, I loved it. It was great. All right? And in this sentence also, je kiffe cette fille, mais j'ai peur de lui dire. I really like this girl, but I'm afraid to tell her. All right, you guys got it? So, let's move on to a very French expression, ben or eh ben. This expression is basically the equivalent of the English well or It's extremely common in spoken French, and we use it in various situations. For example, when we hesitate or when we're about to say something not very pleasant. Like in this sentence right here. Est-ce que j'ai grossi? Ben, un petit peu. Did I gain weight? Well, a little. Eh ben, on the other hand, is a little bit stronger. And it's often paired with the word oui when we want to answer an obvious question, like, tu as déjà fini? Eh ben oui. You already done? Well, yeah. And make sure to add a little French shrug to make it sound even more authentic. Tu as déjà fini? Eh ben oui. Now, let's move on to the next expression, and this one might surprise you, trop. So, maybe you know already that this word normally means too, as in too much, too many. However, in informal French, this word also means very or so when we want to express intensity. Like in this sentence, j'adore cette robe, elle est trop belle. I love this dress, it's so beautiful. So you see here in this example, I'm not saying that this dress is too beautiful for me to look at it, I cannot stand it. No, I'm expressing intensity rather than excess, okay? And it's something we do constantly in informal French. And in case you wonder, the proper word to say very in French is très. Right, let's move on to the very last expression on this list, which is j'avoue. This expression has been very popular for the past few years. Literally, it means I confess. But in informal French, it's not as serious. It simply means something like I gotta admit, or true, or fair enough. Let me show you some examples. Elle est trop belle cette ville. Ouais, j'avoue, elle est magnifique. This city is so beautiful. Yeah, I gotta admit, it's gorgeous. And also be aware that you can use j'avoue alone, okay? You don't need to add anything to it. So to this sentence, I could have simply replied j'avoue. By the way, did you notice? In those sentences, I use 3 expressions we learned today. And I wasn't even trying. This is actually how we speak in real life. So my point here is you really need to start using those expressions little by little until you feel more confident, but don't be afraid to start using them. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching this video till the end. It was great having you. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to, and either way, I'll be here next week with a new video. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.